Listen. Okay, so
I
this.
need to get the audio from. So you don't know what to do.
Can you hear me now? Hey.
I'm not about to deal with you.
He thinks I'm crazy, and I don't know why.
From what I've observed, I wouldn't say crazy per se.
What?
Vivacious. That's a word.
Ooh,
Vivacious.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one I'm going with. I can't even pronounce that for real. What you just say?
Vivacious. Like you just.
Pull your mic up.
Bubble.
Pull your mic to you. No, pull it to you. So, pull it up.
Oh, you mean like this?
No, the whole thing.
Oh,
The
this.
neck. Yeah, pull it up. Pull up some more. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that part.
Now pull up just a little bit more.
I don't know what you're asking me.
Is that it?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you perfectly clear.
I actually do have a quick question. Is this live or is this going to be like edited?
Live.
And then live?
You lied.
Hold on,
Yeah, we about to start in about 30 seconds.
Lord.
Boom! Surprise to the guest speaker.
So it'll be available for like replay and everything?
Yeah.
Then? Oh, God.
You have to be able to
I
go.
thought y'all were going to be able to
So I
edit
didn't
this.
get your audio.
Huh?
Oh, I thought y'all were going to be able to like edit this.
Why you want to edit it? You don't want to have fun with me?
Yeah, but still, like, okay.
Can you?
But what?
I didn't go up on
We haven't started yet because we're having way too much fun in the studio trying to adjust the mics and the headphones, and you gotta get ready.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Put Lisa on the mic. What is she gonna do? Hey, I don't know the rest of the words. So. I have no idea.
Oh, this is gonna be so much fun.
I wish you would have told me this was live. I would have.
I didn't tell you that part.
I don't think you did.
You know what happened is
What
you
happened?
probably didn't ask.
Okay.
And so you know what I mean. Like that's the whole thing with lawyers. Like I'm gonna only tell you what you need to know, and anything outside of that, you gotta like ask. Otherwise,
It's
surprise.
I understand. My dad is actually an attorney, and he's the exact same way.
Oh, see.
Like he literally, and then when I say, "Okay, you didn't tell me that, Dad," well, did you ask? And it's never like a harsh tone. He's a very soft. Like,
I just didn't know that you ain't know that you was gonna be live and on Facebook and living out your best life. Like
we live.
I just didn't know. Surprise.
Ooh, and I got church candy up in here. Okay, what? Church candy. What's that? Butterscotch? Hold on.
Oh man, this is gonna be so fun.
So can I have a piece of candy?
Usually I have a piece of paper. I don't even got a piece of paper.
Oh, I probably shouldn't eat this one. Okay. I'm saving it for later though.
I'm actually for real not ready for my life.
So what are the rules? I don't necessarily have a potty mouth, but sometimes stuff slips out. Okay. I'm very PG.
Okay, cool.
I'm very PG. I mean, I work with kids,
That
so I
works.
know how to rein it in, but.
I mean, we're just cool and comfortable.
Okay.
I'm just not used to being this far, and I almost feel like I should sit over there.
Okay. How do you spell your name?
Well, just Nissa.
Yeah, it's like uncomfortable.
Now, what is the subject of matter about?
We're talking about my business today.
My business, body care.
So,
And blackness.
is this another business episode?
Yeah, for women in wellness.
Business and women and wellness.
Hey, I'm wrapping it up.
Yeah, so now I can see you from over here. I can see you. My magic don't work if I don't see you do it. And I won't tell you what my magic is. Okay. Surprise! I'm just kidding. Surprise.
I feel like you just need to start carrying confetti if you're just about to be full of this many surprises. Cause
No, what? No, that's not okay.
So you on the whole nother mic, okay, cool.
I gotta redo the whole thing again.
I'm cool. I'm just doing 7 to same way.
Okay.
Right page.
Did I turn it on? Nope, I turned it on. Oh, you have to change because I moved. Oh, I too fancy. With all your cool equipment. Hi, friends. We're working on the mic check 1 2 1 2 situation. Say hello to Casita. OMG. Anyway, so we're just here, you know, chilling and stuff. Waiting for all the technological things to go right. That's supposed to go right. But you know, I got 5 people jobs, and so I was running late to do all the prep work, you know, that goes into the show. It's not that much. I just don't know what it is. And so I just be smooth, you know, chilling. But you know, sometimes the clients need me, and so I have to attend to them before the show. You know. I'm just talking.
Good?
Yeah, but I can't hear myself.
Oh, 'cause I got unmuted.
Oh,
Oh,
Dad.
you ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Let's go.
You ready?
Yes.
Stop acting like that, girl. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is show time for real. It's Tuesday at 6-ish, and I am here. Stop laughing. I am here with the coolest guest ever. I'm actually so excited. Let me tell you how I had a difficulty getting on the phone with her to even confirm she was showing up today, but we're not going to talk about them 3-4 weeks when we was trying to get in touch. But, listen, let me tell you how she poached me, because it was all a joke or a trick. That was my side of the story. I'll let you tell your own, whatever. So anyway, I'm minding my own business, and I'm visiting a friend, and this young lady comes in, and she's like, shea butter, cashmere, scrub. And I was like, so what did this young lady have here? I want to see what this is about. And so she's trying to describe all this stuff about how important it is for you to properly put on good stuff on your skin from nature. And I was like, okay. You're just trying to sell me a pitch. Man, I said, let me try with them little testers then. I go home. I tried to test it the first time. The second time, By the third time, I was like, look, how can I get this in a bigger bottle? I was putting that body scrub on my face, talking about I'm exfoliating. I'm like, this shea butter, the natural stuff is real. And I'm like, so how big can I get this container of this shea butter? Because this is life. And so I'm going to tell y'all a secret, how I tried to convince her to be a guest speaker so she can bring me some more. But anyway, that's my side of the story. Please share with us your side.
So what had happened was I was in my office building and ran into our friend,
Yes.
who then said, hey, it's some ladies in my office right now. You should go, literally, it's some ladies in my office. Go to my office really quick. And I was like, okay. So he told me to just come talk to y'all. But I was like, I'm gonna go to my office and grab some stuff just so they can have. Because one of my main things is I don't like to push myself and my product onto people. I like for it to like linger until they try it and they're like, oh, she wasn't lying when she was telling us how amazing this was. Right. So had my little samples of shea butter, sugar scrub, and popped in. And Kina was hilarious. Like, that's pretty much the most prominent thing I remember about her. She's hilarious. I handed her a sample of shea butter in a scent called Cream. All of my product names are inspired by song titles like African culture, Black culture. So Cream, of course, is casual, is everything around me, whatever. Just a cute little, yeah. So handed it to her, and she smelled it and was like, And then she did a little dab test. That's what it's a dab, but did a little finger dab test, put a little dab on her hand, and was like, oh, okay. And I swear it was a solid 5 minutes of jokes. A solid 5 minutes. It was probably one of the funniest days. Like, and I think I was having a bad day too, so it just completely turned my day around.
Good. It was fun. Like, you know, when it was like, is this butter like for real butter? So once I put it on my skin and started melting, I was like, wait a minute. This oil can actually do something for my dry skin. Like, Michigan is really dry.
Yes.
The water is hard here, especially coming from Los Angeles. And so when it was like, there's something I can put on my skin that I ain't walking around ashy or always asking people for lotion in their car. Like, wait, there's something? And I was like, okay, let me see what you got. But, okay, before we talk about your business, one of the things I like to do is talk a little bit about who you are.
Okay.
Right? Because sure, you can be in business, but how'd you get there? So, how'd you grow up? Are you from here? You know, what life was like? How did you transition into a form of entrepreneurship? Like, who are you?
So, I am a regular girl. A regular girl from east side of Detroit. I was born and raised here. And I actually started in entrepreneurship from a youth center that my dad helped organize. Al-Kibalan Village, by the way. It's an African-centered youth center. And in that center, they had youth entrepreneurship classes. And I took it mostly because my dad thought it would be a good fit. He thought that I needed to do something with all the energy and creativity I had. So I used to be a painter. My first little taste of entrepreneurship was at an art show at this youth center. And I had a painting. I don't even know like what it was of. I think it was an African parade or something. And so I painted like 2 or 3 of the figures in the parade. And somebody bought my painting for like $200. It was for charity, so it didn't even come to me, but it was still like especially everybody else's paintings were selling for like $40, $50. So I'm like, okay, I'll get a little $50, $200. What?
That's amazing.
So I grew up pretty, life was interesting, but I was so sheltered in this youth center that I didn't know about how interesting the things, you know, around me were. So yeah, born and raised here, had that little taste of entrepreneurship, left it alone because I didn't think that I could do for myself, and started a career after school, started a career at Quicken Loans doing mortgage servicing, and absolutely hated it. Yeah, absolutely hated it. And then went on to be a flight attendant.
Look at you.
I've done a few things, right. And ended up having to resign due to a work injury. And while I was on this like paid leave or whatever, I was just growing so restless and I couldn't just sit still. So I started researching, and I had actually made sugar scrubs, bath bombs or whatever in college. And so I started researching how to make soap. And my boyfriend at the time had really encouraged me to like, you know, practice, research, and then start something with it. And so I researched, practiced for a couple years and started it. And it's been rocky kind of, just because my mission is to provide, you know, make accessible luxury products to the inner city communities. And so as such, I have to, break my prices and do all that, but
Oh, you ain't know.
I'm still here.
You think the community is gonna be like, yeah, girl, we gonna accept
But you
you
know,
for $50 worth of lotion.
you know what though? I have people that'll call me and be like, okay, I have $100. Can I just have how many body butters can I get with $100? And I was like, okay.
That's
so the hood got me. So just trying to
wow.
I'm just battling for that consistency right now. So
yeah. I think, okay, let me ask you this. How long have you been in business with the body butter?
I have been in business with body care for 3 years. I'll actually be celebrating my 3rd birthday on June 1st, which is when I'm going to be relaunching my site and everything.
Wow. Look at you. Okay. And, as an entrepreneur, let me ask this. Because you were an entrepreneur, or at least took classes on it, do you think it helped you with the expectations of an entrepreneur?
No.
What?
I really don't think it prepared me for the sleepless nights and the
that part.
that part, yes. Sleepless nights, working so tirelessly that I forget to eat. Going from having a couple of hours in the morning to handle my business, and then having to be at work. Oh, by the way, I didn't even mention that I am now an instructor at the youth center in which I grew up.
Oh,
so,
sweet.
I instruct. I'm a black belt martial artist. So I teach martial arts, African dance, hip hop dance, as well as write grants for them. So so I have to do all of that, grant research, etc. And then if it's an off day, we might have performances. So literally having no time for myself. And that's another reason why I kind of want to push this, because it's another form of self-care. But no, classes did not prepare me for the sleepless nights, for the times I was broke from funding my own business. It didn't prepare me for the real life. It told me that, entrepreneurship is, grand, and you should do for self and do for community.
Is it not grand though?
Oh, it's so grand.
Let's talk about that. Wait a minute.
No, it's okay. But no, I love it too. But no, it really taught me of the daisies, but didn't teach me of the rain needed to blossom those flowers. So,
because you see, I always hear when you talk about entrepreneurship, a lot of times you get a negative vibe from it, because a lot of times people talk about the hard times. People don't always talk about the good times and the process of entrepreneurship, what you learned in the process, why you still not working after all these years, even though it had all these negative side effects, right? And it's if you were to give advice to someone else, would you advise them to be an entrepreneur?
I really would. There is nothing more rewarding than, I have kids around me all the time. It's nothing more rewarding than seeing them see my products or whatever, or we've actually had classes where we make them workshops. So they know how to make certain things now too. It's nothing like seeing them the way they light up. And that's who I do it for, really. I push for myself because I do want, to be wealthy. I want to be financially free. However, I do it for the people coming up after me too. So I would definitely advise whoever asks me to be an entrepreneur.
Okay. And you mentioned self goals. Do you have? So I tend to realize that in America, a lot of times people ask you, who are you? And the first thing that comes to mind is what you do, right? There's a distinction between the person and the business, okay? So my question to you is, do you have a goal for yourself for 2019?
I would like to be as happy as I can be.
Mm-hmm.
And that is my main goal. A lot of times, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to like sit back.
You relax.
I'm trying to sit
That's
back
what
here,
we're
arm
doing.
all up, just chilling. You know? He just adjusted my mic, y'all.
Right
I can't see, but
Yeah.
I do have an issue, or have had issues with focusing on negative things. I was a teenager with depression, with anxiety, and so everything for me has been focusing on the next thing and focusing on what I'm not doing enough. Oh my gosh, it's clockwork. Every birthday of mine, I'll be 28 in September. Every birthday of mine, I have like this, not necessarily manic episode, but this it was quarter life crisis when I was 25. Like,
Fair,
I had this
fair.
life crisis.
Yes.
Where I feel like I'm not doing enough until I look back and see all that I've done, and I'm like,
How did I
are you
get here?
serious?
Yeah.
Like, how did I get here? Like, and I tell people all the time, if you knew who I was when I was 16, 17, and who I am now, and how I literally climbed out of the shell that I had, or the shell, the box, the whatever that was encasing me.
Yeah.
Not by my will. Like, I've done so much. So I really, this year, I would like to focus more on the positive in my life. I just had a conversation with a friend of mine, reflecting on Queen Beyonce.
Yes.
Reflecting on Queen Beyonce. And she said something like, she gives herself 24 hours to truly feel sad or upset about something. And after those 24 hours, that's it. And I really have that type of mentality, and I always have. So I'm reflecting on the positive this year.
Okay.
Being more happy.
And so I'm gonna just get all up in your business.
Get all in my business.
You need to tell me one of those positive things that happened this year.
Okay.
So far. Thank you so much.
This year, to be honest, I don't want to get spiritual up in here, but
No,
every
let's
day
do
I
it.
wake up.
No, because last week, girl, we was in here like, you want me to do it?
Every day I wake up, it's a positive thing. I've been able to see the people around me grow. I confronted the CEO of my organization about getting a raise and a position change, and got it.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What else? I started a new relationship. I guess that's positive. That's positive. That makes me really happy.
Well, yeah, you said the goal was happiness, so that's part of it.
But you know what? The goal is also, I've stopped looking for my happiness in other people. So he does make me happy, but I make myself happiest. So he's just like an add-on.
Yeah.
But like
it should be.
It's really as it should be, but it's still something that you have to learn though. Because I swear, maybe up until like 3 years ago, I would be like, oh my gosh, he's my better half.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm my better half. I'm my better whole. Like
the whole
thing. Okay?
Yes.
Period.
No, but you're telling the truth. That's why I asked personal goals. Because a lot of times, especially when you're the only person in the business, you are the business and the business is you.
Mm-hmm.
You can have business goals, you can have number markers, you can have how many products you want to sell, you can have how many ways you want to teach it or advertise it and get it out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happens though is sometimes you forget you.
Mm-hmm.
And then as a woman, we tend to carry more buckets than we actually let go of.
Mm-hmm.
And there's layers on top of layers with the multitasking and the responsibilities and the duties and whatever. You tend to forget you. Meaning taking that time, because at the end of the day, if the business is you and you are the business, if you go down, so does your business, right? And you don't see that at the time because you're so busy or you're so occupied and you're trying to get this and this and this and done. One of the things I'm working on with the positive thoughts is at the end of each day, I actually try to go back through my day. What did I do today? How much did I get accomplished today? Who did I help today? And it's making a difference, at least for me, because then when I wake up the next day, it's like, okay, what I got next? Or who can I help next? You know,
That's
or
beautiful.
if I create a checklist, how many things did I check off? Because see, my checklist got like 20 things on it, so I already know the odds are I'm not going to get all 20 things done, right? But if I can get 5, I did something. If I create lower goals, I will always exceed them because it's who I am. So if I do 5 goals, if I list 5 goals as the checklist, but I get 10 things done, it's like sweet. I don't think bad that I didn't accomplish everything for the day, even though there's 20 things on the checklist. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. And I actually am going to start doing that. Writing a list, because I at the end of the day reflect, but only because I realize I need yoga. At the end, I need to stretch. I need to let things go, because I just mentioned I don't have any time for myself in a day. Never.
I don't need to work on that.
I'm for real. Oh, what's up?
Okay.
No, for real. It's definitely something that I'm aiming for, but it would also require, because I do so much at my job, it would also require me minimizing my role there, which it's just not necessary at the moment. I forgot what I was saying. Oh,
that's okay. No, I want you to hold that thought,
Okay.
because we're about to take a break.
Okay.
Listen to some tunes. Don't forget that thought.
Okay.
Okay. We'll be right back. That's what that marker was.
Okay.
I probably was supposed to do that like 10 minutes ago. But you'll be right. Oh, we be having fun. KD said, "Oh, you got my girl on there. Tell her I said hi." Mind your business. We got our own relationship.
You are in a relationship.
He gonna probably be like, "For real? That's what y'all doing now?" I'm trying to tell you, you got tunes going. Yes. What do you think so far? Oh, you gonna sing it, bro? Okay. No, sing, girl. Yeah.
That's how you sound. I love it.
Yeah. Okay, good.
It's nice and laid back. I was expecting. I'm glad I wore my ripped jeans.
Yeah, totally. I got on leggings, girl. What?
Definitely glad I wear my dress pants.
I did.
Here.
I did this photo shoot today. Well, this morning. I had so much fun.
What was it for?
Oh my.
Just because?
Yeah, it's a little bit of just because to get over hurdles and fears. Because you have to confront fears. You can't just, And so the idea of a camera being in front of me actually bothers me. Because it feels like the person is staring into my soul.
Okay.
And I don't necessarily like it. Irrespective of Facebook Live, and I don't like this neither. It makes me, not saying I don't like it, I can get nervous still. Because I'm usually a low-key person.
Okay.
I'm usually the person in the background. You may never know how many degrees I have, jobs I have, because I don't sit here and advertise. I will walk in a room and let everybody else tell me about who they are, and I'm like, oh, that's amazing. Yeah, go for it. But I won't really talk about me. And so the photo shoot is supposed to better explain me.
Okay.
And the different dynamics of me.
Okay.
Because I have multiple dynamics. On the Saturday, you might see me in a hoodie and a ball cap. That's who I am. But on a Tuesday, I have to go to court. This is who I am. If I go to a party with my friends, this is who I am. I'm styling and profiling.
Different aspects.
This
That's
is who
super
I
cool.
am. And so that's why I said it makes a difference when you ask someone, who are you? Because it makes the person in front of you have to define who they are. Helps you to see what's important to them. One of the things I learned, what's important to people is you say, well, who are you? I'm a mom. I am a wife. I have a good job. I went to college. No. Those are facts of life. But who are you? Like,
That's so deep.
how do you explain who you are and not what you have? and it makes a difference.
Beautiful. My ex, the one that pushed me to start this business, used to always tell me like, so I want you to describe yourself. And this was whenever we got into an argument. Describe yourself, but don't tell me what you do, and don't tell me what you have. Who are you? And I would just be like, he was like, okay, so we're not even gonna like talk this out because I'm not about to tell you who you are either. You have to tell me. I'll be in the next room
when you figure it out.
I used to be like, sugar, like just right. Yeah.
Because it's a lot. You are your character, not what you have. Well, who are you? Well, I drive a Mercedes. What?
Okay.
How does that go? Or you're defining yourself by the things you have or the people you're around. Oh, because my husband makes 6 figures. No, that's what he do. What do you do? Some of us don't actually think about it
at all. But because you know what though, I think we've also been taught, like it's been ingrained in us to, especially as Black people. It's been ingrained. I think it's really been ingrained in us to value like what we have. I mean, period. And it's like the American dream theory.
Correct.
The American dream theory.
The problem though is at what point do you realize it? You go to AA because you had an addiction and a problem before you find out who you are. Because you're in a support group. You find out who you are because you're going through counseling after divorce. After you've gone through something dramatic and you're trying to pick up the pieces, but you don't remember where you was, even though you've declined and who you used to be.
So he can put stuff on top of it.
Why wait until something dramatic happens or traumatic happens? Where are you at? What's important to you? And how did you determine that was important to you? What's important to me is helping people that no one's realized, that no one sees need help. That's what's important to me.
How so? That no one sees, like, just overlooked?
They're just overlooked. Veterans are overlooked every day, and they're sitting right here, and you don't know. Grad students tend to get overlooked. So everybody worried about is my kid gonna get through undergrad and grad students are it's not all about the young and the old. There's a middle group. We here too, right? And it's like, you know, now corporate America's trying to figure out what to do because it's 4 generations in one building between the millennials, the baby boomers, and blah blah blah.
I mean, if I find
How
something
do
by the time
we help them?
It's just nothing really on here.
Nobody can answer how to help. And maybe what helping means is doing your one part. Sometimes we want to help the world. Nah, just do your part.
I don't know. We might gotta get one of the G's in the room and put the.
It's important to do your part.
Nice.
Like the last show we were talking about is finding your purpose in life, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard for people to find their purpose. But it's that thing inside of you that you want to do to help somebody out.
Yeah.
But you're either too afraid to do it. It may not be as lucrative as you think it is, and all this other stuff. But that's your one little part.
But a lot of these
And you're missing your part to help the world.
Because you're right about everything else, all the external.
Store and stuff.
That's another reason why I don't make any money. I donate every year to a scholarship. Or last year I sponsored a Kwanzaa for African Center or whatever.
Yeah, that's dope.
So I sponsored a Kwanzaa for these kids and took the money like directly. I almost went broke, like directly out of my business account and was like, okay, this is what it's for. So like literally, I have to lower it, but as of now, 10% of purchases like goes towards kids. Period. So somebody actually told me recently, a mentor told me that I had to get out of this fixation with youth and like move on. And I was like,
Why?
okay, that's your opinion.
But why though? What does that mean?
Because it doesn't make any money.
Nothing makes money. Welcome. Okay, so I know we were talking during the break, and I hope you didn't forget where you left off.
I didn't.
Okay, I was saying, you on your own because I just now pick it up, put it in your phone. I don't know, but
no. Okay. So what I was saying, yes. At the end of the day, sometimes I am so exhausted with other people's burdens. So I teach these kids like you were just saying that you deal with people who are overlooked. I think we do a lot of seeing our kids and hearing them but not really listening to them. So when they come to the youth center, I'm the person that listens. And so at the end of the day, I have all of this just weight on me from the things that they tell me or the things that their parents even come to talk to me about. And so like I just feel heavy. So that's why I have to stretch. I have to get it off of me. I sage, I pray, I meditate because I cannot, like at the end of the day. But I am gonna work on, like you said, making more time for myself and self-care.
Yeah, I smooth get massages once a month, and it might be on a Tuesday at 11 a.m. And I might text somebody back like, "Oh, I was in court. What's going on?"
And you sounded real refreshing. You know what you're talking about.
And I'd be like, "Yeah."
They had this mint water at the court. It was just,
It was so good. No, but it matters because if I go out of commission. Not
everything
only
else
am I
does.
unable to help anyone, but how could the business make any money if I'm not there to make it?
And that's a goal of mine also, which is why I'm trying to remain as positive as possible because I have a rule for myself. I don't even make anything if I'm feeling less than like an 8. I give myself a scale of 1 to 10. If I'm feeling less than an 8, I won't go to my office. Like for the past week, I haven't even been on the east side to my office space. Because I've been like stressed or like just tired and I don't want to, I really think that energy is transferable and I never want to be making something when I'm low energy or just tired and not fully like throwing myself into what I'm doing. So yeah, I definitely get it.
I have whole self-checks. Come on, I'll be in the car, self-check. Does your blood pressure feel okay? Did you eat lunch? Is your sugar low? Are you dehydrated, girl? Do you need some water? Is a coffee mix? Like,
that's how I need to live.
For real, because remember, first impression is everything. And it's not so much always the first impression, like a stranger is the first time you're meeting them. Sometimes first impression is the first time that day I see you. Right? And so if I come in like, girl, you want an attorney that's looking at you like, I'm so drained already. I don't even want to hear your case. You see? So I have to do self-checks in the car before I get to my next destination. Like, okay, do we need to go get a shot of espresso before we leave the job? Like, because it matters on the person on the other side. I call my mom like, I'm doing this, and then I get there, hi, yes, how are you? Yes. And you didn't know I had a whole meltdown, blow up, powwow session right before I walked into the room. Sometimes the self-check is a release. Lawyers tend to get people, more clients with problems that they need a problem solved than it is, hey, just do, I just want to talk to you about something I'm working on. Well, what happens is every room I go into, or almost every room I go into, someone's burdening me with something. I got this idea. What about this? What about this? What about this? The fact that you asked me 15 questions in 15 seconds.
Back to back. Woo! I can't breathe.
I'd be under the table like, Jesus. But you're not going to see me do that. I'd be like, and so what happens is I have to figure out my meltdown moments. And who can I have a meltdown with that 5 minutes before I go into the next room? Because again, it's a new person and a new impression, right? And the person I'm on the phone with understands that I just need that 5 minutes. Don't judge me. This isn't really who I am. But this self-check is telling me I need a release and press the button before I move on, right?
I am going to have to sit down with my best friend as she listens to this episode because you're literally an older version, /beautiful. She's only 27. She's only 27. And you look 28.
Oh, okay. So I'm only 1 year older?
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't saying you. But, okay. But no, you sound just like her. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Ducky, if you're listening.
Because it's true. Like, the joys, this show, wait a minute, this show isn't supposed to be about me. Like, you got me over here pouring out my heart, and this show's supposed to be about you. But there are times when people see entrepreneurship as the business in the numbers. I see entrepreneurship as a puzzle. And I'm trying to put all the pieces together. And the piece comes with sanity. It comes with massages, vacations, time management, the expectations of the client, the money when it comes through the door, and the money when it don't come through the door. You know, advertise, and all these different facets versus you go to a job, I know what I'm doing from 9 to 5. I know I'm going to be doing these papers, using this computer, sitting at this desk. That's not always the case in entrepreneurship, right? But to me, it's fun. I'm driving here. I'm talking to this person. I'm meeting these people like, hey, girl. And then, and then I turn around like, how I met you. Like, hey, girl, yes. And, you know, I probably wouldn't have met you if I wasn't in that building that day, you know, doing a business transaction. You see? And
Exactly.
To me, that's pretty dope. Anyway, the show ain't about me. It's about you.
Same.
Okay. So, because I don't want to run out of time. Tell me what your products are like. Tell me what this is. What you got?
So what I have today, I actually brought a couple of things for you, and this one is like straight out of my bathroom. So I'm gonna whip something up for. Oh, but you actually smelled this one before. Okay. So this is a Facebook Live. This is an emulsified sugar scrub. So emulsified simply means it is a solid sugar scrub. However, when it comes into contact with something warm, i.e. your skin, i.e. in a warm shower, it pretty much breaks down as it would a loose scrub. But with a solid scrub, you can like flip it upside down, shake it a little, and you'll still have a full jar of stuff, as opposed to if you just put sugar and oil in a jar, and it slides out. So you've actually smelled that one before. That's ginger snap. It's the gingerbread one.
This is the one I was using on my face. When I'm exfoliating, like from the tester, by the way, from the tester.
The tester is a little bitty jar.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to get you some more. So all of my sugar scrubs are made with 2 different sugars, and most of them include another little add-in. So for the summer, I'm making a watermelon and champagne sugar scrub. It's one of the most popular things. So watermelon and champagne, and so it has 2 different sugars, a couple different layers, get different colors, and poppy seeds in the top layer, just for that extra little scrub. Because in the summer we out swimming, we out living, we out at all these festivals, and we be ashy.
It's true, you know.
I too have been ashy. You're right. So you too. You won't catch me ashy, y'all. But no, so these also, like pretty much all of my butters that I mix have 2 different butters. So in the ginger snap one, it's organic cocoa butter, organic imported shea butter. I have ties with a company in Ghana that I import from myself, along with a few other women bosses. So yeah. And then over here, for you, I have a bath bomb. Do you like baths? So this is champagne and lavender. It's kind of secure. So you probably won't be able to smell it through there because it's But if you open up the bottom little flap, so it's champagne and lavender, nice and calming, but still a little pop to it. Oh, this is tripping. I don't know how I did
You made that?
Yep, I make everything.
You make them from scratch.
Make them from scratch.
Wow.
So everything I sell, I make aside from Aside from my African black soap, that's imported also.
Oh, you got black soap too?
Mm-hmm. And so this is a solid bubble bar. It's so okay. Yeah, but I don't want to. Let me tell you. So a solid bubble bar is essentially, bubble bath. Okay. But instead of just pouring it into the tub, you chop it up and hold it under running water so it can create nice fluffy bubbles.
Wow.
Most bubble baths, by the way, are made with SLS, sodium lauryl sulfur acetate. Sulfate, whatever. Yeah. So, I actually use a natural derivative from palm and coconut fruits. So SLSA, which is a natural alternative to SLS, it's sodium lauryl instead of laureth. It's important to look for, even if y'all don't buy Lotus butter. Like, look at your stuff, y'all. So SLSA again is a natural alternative to SLS. And this is a cotton candy blend that I mixed up. And so, yeah.
It smells like cotton candy.
Hold on, I gotta shut up.
How you get it to
So, yeah, it's literally a cotton candy.
You know the engineer is smelling this stuff too. For real?
It's literally a cotton candy. I call it a bubble swirl because Lush kind of has like a monopoly on the word bubble bar.
Yeah.
So that for now is called unicorn. However, I'm changing it because I'm a huge nerd, and I'm changing it to usagi. So usagi, if y'all don't know out there, is Sailor Moon. And so I am absolutely obsessed with Sailor Moon, and I have been since I was a kid. So I'm actually in June debuting a whole like anime inspired line with like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto inspired things, Sailor Moon, of course. What? So it's gonna be, yeah, my summer is looking pretty lit.
Okay. No, okay. Tell me, how did you get into body care? What drove you to have a passion in this? Like, what got you? That you was like, look, my shampoo was messing up my hair. Like, what happened?
To be honest, I've always kind of been into it. Like I mentioned earlier, in college, I had been making natural sugar scrubs and stuff. But of course, I was an RA, so I was known, and I couldn't sell my stuff. So I would make it like we had to have programs every so often. So for a program, I would be doing sugar scrubs. Come make a sugar scrub with me. Come make bath bombs with me. So
That's dope.
I had been in it, fell out of it, and came back. What really pushed me into it was I had a niece who is my little heart, my niece and nephew. They're my children. My niece's mom, my sister, came to me and said, I forgot her Vaseline. Can you like make me some butter, or like do you have anything? And I'm like, Vaseline? Okay. So I have been playing around with this balm recipe, like a nice soothing balm made from like a plant-based wax along with organic shea butter, coconut oil. And she tried it, and the next day came back and was like, okay, so I know this was for Aubrey, but my parents need like 2 big tubs. Okay, do you make tubs? I was like, no, I don't make tubs, but I can give you a jar.
Yeah.
So that is kind of what really, and then from there, she asked me to make like watermelon soaps for, wait, this was before that. Okay, she asked me to make watermelon soaps for my niece's baby shower, essentially. And so they had like a backyard barbecue type of theme. And I had these watermelon soaps just lined up. And so after that was when like, oh dang, she makes soap? She black?
She makes soap and she black. It ain't suave.
And so yeah, and I really started pushing the idea that we need to stop being so, well, of course it's important to be focused on what we put into our bodies.
Yeah.
But we focus so much on that and we don't focus on what's on our bodies.
Yes.
So,
I'm learning that.
yeah, look, we gotta learn it at some point.
I mean, I also tried about 10 lotions since I moved to Michigan. Ain't none of them stopped the ash. This have though. So I need the biggest bucket.
Just a full bucket.
That you got.
Show up in the bucket. But no, like we, especially millennials, like you said you were 31. Okay, so people our age are really looking for natural foods, like vegetarianism, veganism is huge. I'm a vegetarian.
I am too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sis. Come on, sis. So,
Get it right.
but also natural, like body care, skin care, hair care is super big, especially among like millennial Black women.
Yes.
So, just I guess realizing the market as well as realizing the need for it.
Well, you know, Gabrielle Union and Angela Bassett changed the game. Somehow they're like wine and getting more refined, older. And I'm realizing like, I gotta keep my skin intact.
First of all,
as long as possible. I'm just saying though. Well, because they probably started young too. That's the point.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so.
But, I mean, didn't Angela Bassett just turn 60 and
My
baby girl looking like she's
point.
32?
She probably been using shea butter for 20 years. Real shea butter.
Real.
Like for real. She's probably using that black soap.
I don't know either.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to get my life together.
For
So,
real.
you know, the older I get, it's still tight and right. Like,
Yes.
I ain't married just yet. I gotta catch them, girl. I on a roll.
You would be both.
Sorry. Excuse me. All right. You were telling me about how you got into this and the story and the watermelon and soap. I think so, so it was a barbecue and there was like a sink and everybody had soap to wash their hands.
No.
Oh,
So what
I was
happened
gonna say that'd be
I did
dope.
favors, and I'm actually, oh my gosh, I'm doing my sister's wedding favors. Like next month. I'm excited, but they were just like little favors. So instead of like little gift bags or whatever, they still did.
So you do that now?
Yep, I do favors, custom orders. Actually, my niece's mom's sister. She's my sister. I don't care. So my sister's sister is. We don't do that mixed stuff.
The half and half of.
We don't do the half and half. Her sister just opened up a beauty supply in Belleville, Charshi Beauty Supply. Right. It's Black owned, and so she actually contacted me recently about collaborating and stuff. So I've really customs is like my thing.
Yeah.
Love me a little custom soap.
Ooh, can you make me something that's like coffee based?
Wow. I'll actually just bring you something because I have a coffee soap. It's spiced coffee.
Okay, time out. No. You can't tell a story live. We gotta go on break because what if I decide to sell it? Okay, so we can sell it. Hold on. We can collaborate. Okay, anyway, we're gonna take a break here. That's how business gotta get.
A mess.
No, tell me what.
So it's a coffee base. A coffee base soap. So it's not coffee scented though. But it's
just the concept of coffee.
Yeah. So I use organic fair trade coffee, coconut cream. I actually use bamboo silk in my stuff. I'm vegetarian. I'm not using no like meat or whatever. You know, right, jamming like this.
I can't. At my show, I ain't messing. I gotta take you off. I'm just kidding.
And so I call it spiced coffee. So it's orange, clove, and cinnamon. And orange, of course, works with like hyperpigmentation.
I got a facial this week, and they told me I need to get more vitamins in my moisturizer, for example. Keep going, girl.
Yeah. And
what is it? A soap, a cream?
It's a soap. Yeah, and so I don't do the matching like body cream or whatever just because orange is phototoxic. Like, and I use organic. I use orange essential oil, and so because it's phototoxic, say for instance you put some on without putting on sunscreen. White people for some reason don't believe in sunscreen. So
I didn't realize that I could get a tan until I went to Mexico and actually got tan, and I was like, "Shut up! I can see my bathing suit line." Wow.
It sounds real good.
I need some sunscreen. That's what that means.
Y'all sound good.
No. So don't make a matching body cream, but I do have a coffee butter.
I see that.
Oh yeah.
Say what?
That's amazing.
A coffee shea butter. The thing is that it takes.
I don't think you understand what I'm trying to tell you. I'm addicted to coffee, and I don't mean the drinking coffee. Like I'm addicted to coffee. I've looked at she's stupid. I have looked at Instagram and tried to meet every person on Instagram that got coffee in their name. That's how serious this coffee is to me. Yes. That's how.
You had me cracking up when you said you mean what did you say? No net, nothing. No, it's like that remind me of that Trina song.
No, man.
My
Yes.
so
Yes.
butter is
Down
essentially
to
shea
Leonard
butter.
Gibson.
However, I actually infuse my
That just
own
hit me. I like
coffee. I have a
it.
friend who makes coffee, so I'll hook you up with it. So my friend makes coffee. He's not a friend, he's a colleague.
Understood.
Yeah. Makes coffee. I infuse it with my shea butter that I import, and for like weeks. So I'll have it. If I don't infuse it for weeks, I'll just like cook it in my crock pot for a couple days, and then like strain the coffee beans.
I want both of them.
Okay.
Check.
That was a real cute picture I posted that on your Shakina Ink picture.
Which
on
one?
post too. You know I've been posting all day like I'm you, but
Oh, but what did you post? What
your
picture?
picture he just took a picture of both of y'all. It
Oh,
looks
I
sweet.
didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
He was just all up in our face, like.
So the goal is so you know you got a lot of followers on your Shakina Ink page now.
I
So
didn't know that.
I wanna get at least once you get to 100, then you can delete the Coffee with Kina page because everything is gonna be on there. So I'm just trying to get those followers to sign up on the Shakina Ink so you could just delete it.
Hey, this is a team effort, except I ain't the team. I just show up.
But they been
I show up
liking
and
it
praise
every
the
day.
Lord and say yes. I have to show you the She sent me 3 pictures
She's
from
supposed to
today.
send me some.
Yeah, but she sent me 3, and I was like,
After this? No.
That dress though, I think that dress. That was a
so
come
much.
get me dress.
We had so much.
That was a
fun.
come get me at the office dress.
Find out.
It was long
Babe,
though. It was way
She had on
past
this
the
dress
knee.
today. That was the come
It
get
was
me. She had
way
on this
past
dress
the
today.
knee.
That was a come get me at the office dress.
Oh, Katrina, can you show her where the bathroom is?
Yes, thank you. I'm about to just dive over this table.
I like this. I like this cotton candy.
First of all, I want to know how I could get some of this.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
This screen.
That's why I just said that.
I've been exfoliating with her tester on my face.
This smell like a cookie.
And I was like, you know, you kind of test a little area to see if you're going to break
This smell
out.
like Christmas.
This smell like Christmas.
This smell like
that was
Christmas.
actually a Christmas scrub.
But I can't stop smelling this. Bubble. Oh my god. So you make these?
I
Yes, I make
put it on
everything
my,
from scratch.
You know how serious this is when you put something on your face, waiting for you to break out and nothing happen? I'm like, she lying.
We need to do the like how we doing with what's her name? We need to do the same thing with
Did you
you.
go?
You got
Oh, no.
3 minutes.
Oh shoot. That was my fault.
I'm like, wait, what is going on here? Why is she still talking to me?
Sound good now. I got all the bugs. Why is you putting that on me?
So you be out here adding
What's she doing?
Since you in here taking photos and stuff.
Oh, that's what I was in there doing.
Cotton candy. No,
She
catching
photoshopping.
on cotton candy.
Oh, I just hooked up all the social media pages, got that picture.
What let her
Because we
go?
were supposed to talk about it today.
We
too.
good. I don't want you to worry about that. My job to worry about. You got enough to worry about.
Yeah, on that
Oh,
Michigan
what's
hash. I'm trying to tell you,
okay.
Kristen.
That's sweet.
So what I'm gonna do, right?
You ready for your TV show?
Look how she looking.
I'm
she seen yours?
sure.
Did you see mine? You gotta watch it.
No.
And you still got the TV on here.
I know because it's in my background.
I'm sure the clip before we.
Hey, I was getting my Katri Oprah.
You see what we be doing in the studio? Masterminding. That's what it look like. We doing TV next. What?
And I
Shout outs to SDM Live. That's why you gotta do your shout out.
You gotta try it. Oh, there's no volume on.
Speaking with the beautiful Miss Melinda Williams from the Gwen.net. Now, if you don't know what Gwen stands for, it is Global Women Empowerment Network. Yes. So how are you today?
So you ready for a Kenny?
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's
Did
do
you get the table already?
We're gonna do a table in there with
We're
that chair.
gonna do hers in there.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Yeah.
saying move that thing over there.
show. Yes, so it's been a pleasure to talk to you.
You ready for the big screen?
My name is Melinda Williams.
I mean, I guess y'all get me ready for it, so also whether I want to or not. Katrina don't ask me too much questions because, you know, she just tell me where to go
That's crazy.
and when to show up. And then she sent me a text like, where you at? You good? 5 minutes before the time I'm supposed to show.
You just ran.
Oh, I did.
Cause you breathed out.
Oh, good. I just
You right on time.
You
right on time.
I gotta pause it.
Yeah, no, you have to pause it on music.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, we got that last screen now.
What time is it? Oh.
He's so irritating.
That wasn't 3 minutes. I would just say that.
Oh, where you get that water bottle from? That is cute.
TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
That's cute.
I love that.
Thank you.
I like the metallic, the pink.
All right, young lady. I know you're clearly having way too much fun with me in the studio today.
You think?
Yeah, you just keep laughing, and I don't know why. But
vivaciousness.
yes. No, but I do want to wrap up the show.
Okay.
But I feel like you haven't told me enough about your business.
Okay.
So I need you to tell me all of the different types of products that you have. So
Okay.
I know we talked about scrubs, butter, but I want you to tell me.
Okay, so I have a few different products. Currently, I do sugar scrubs, salt scrubs, bath bombs, handmade soaps, and when I say handmade, I mean I make them with my own 2 hands.
Wow.
Bubble bars, bubble swirls. What else? Some people like I make soaks, like muscle soaks, milk baths, like Queen Cleopatra used to bathe in buttermilk, of course, because it's a vegan-based company. I do coconut milk, but nice and luxurious nonetheless. And I believe that is it.
You haven't talked about my skincare butter.
Your skincare. Oh, I didn't say shea butter.
No, ma'am.
Okay, shea butter. Cocoa Shea body butter cream in the winter, and then in the summer I actually move on. So I mostly don't use shea in the summer. I use avocado butter. It's a nice lighter, fluffier texture, and it doesn't not as heavy.
How? Okay.
Why are you licking your lips like you?
How would I have a list of these items so I'll know, okay, you have this and this and this during this time because I want this and this and this and I need some of that avocado butter.
So I'm getting everything together, back together at this point, but you can always follow me on Instagram at Lotus Butter. That's LOTUS as in Sam, BTR. So I usually post what I have there, and if not there, of course, my website, lotusbutter.com, which will be back again on June 1st. Actually, though, if there are any subscribers, they get a pre-sale. I think I'm going to do that on the 18th of May.
What?
So go to lotusbutter.com, and that'll be like the subscriber pre-sale.
So what I need to do, subscribe,
subscribe.
add a friend,
Just
Instagram, right?
Or Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Yeah.
Oh, I got different stuff. Okay. And so then the pre-sale, okay. And so what you gonna do? Take a picture to show us which items you have?
Oh yeah, I have this whole if you are a subscriber or on my Instagram, you'll just get a link directly to my website. And it has pictures. And I'm actually, for my older customers, I am going to be doing brochures from now on.
Rude. You should not say for the older customers.
Well, I won't say older. My
grandma
grandmother, 80-something years old, calls me and say, almost every other week, hey, you got brochures yet? Because I got such and such over here. So my beautiful. Okay, what did it call?
You say I advertise on different platforms.
I advertise on different platforms.
Instagram, brochures.
For my Wiser. I can't say Wiser either.
No, ma'am.
Right.
I
don't know why we out here playing
your
that.
grandmother. How'd you feel when the young
I'm trying to be out here getting old, okay?
Listen, I ain't saying it's wrong. I'm just saying you don't want to offend no one. So you say.
Okay, I advertise on different platforms such as Instagram, Facebook. I have a Facebook page, which is Lotus Butter, same spelling, body care, brochures,
See? Website, you know.
website,
Exactly.
different things.
Yes.
Different things going on.
Exactly. See, and then no one's offended.
I'm
Free legal advice right there.
Yes, thank you. See, Dad, you could have told me that, Dad. Come on, man.
You're too much. Well, you know, it was so much of a pleasure.
Thank you for having me. I had so much fun.
I'm marking my calendar for May 18th.
Okay.
So, I don't know if I should wait until then or if you got something in your car. Right now.
Oh, I have nothing in my car right now. I'm sorry.
About this.
I'm so sorry.
I've been waiting because my container is. But we're going to talk about that off the air. Anyway, thank you so much for coming today and joining the show and the team here with Coffee with Kina and SDM Live, who's helping us broadcast. And we're going to be great. We're going to keep moving. We'll keep shaking. Hopefully you can come back.
Yes, always.
You ended out our month of Women in Wellness. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Next month is going to be awesome. It's going to be May. It starts tomorrow. But we're going to do a series on mothers in business. And I think that will be interesting because you get different perspectives with different age groups and different businesses and what the world has to offer when you add an additional factor to your business being a mom, right? But we'll see how it goes. You never know, we might do a little twist, change here, move and shake. But you know, every week is different. Every week is the same. But we're here Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Thank you for listening and tune in next week. Same time, same place. Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
I don't know. Johnny, how do you get in on what? Are you talking about the body butter or are you talking about the show? Because we'll make all that happen. I'm going to get on Facebook Live, but you can message me. Thanks for listening, everyone.